All right, founders, it is time for another pitch deck critique and review. And this time we have Mailworth Inc. It is a B2B sales email prioritization tool. And this pitch deck is a pre-seed deck. And we are trying to raise 250K. And I think that's just about right. I think you can argue 500K for this type of tool, but we can talk about that in just a bit. And I appreciate this founder sending in a pitch deck. This pitch deck is actually pretty good, and I want to give kudos and flowers to where it is deserved. Before we continue, my name is Ed Kang, seven-time founding founder with 2 exits. I'm also the chief strategy officer for startups.com. I advise over 600 founders directly right now. We have 4,000 other startups and founders in our alumni directory. I have raised over $100 million for my startups, other people's startups, as well as startup funds in my day. And I work with a team that has raised, I believe, $750 million, but has gone on to give a start to all these startups that have raised also billions of dollars. So we've been around. We understand what funding is all about. Especially my passion is the pre-seed and the seed stage. If you're part of startups.com, thank you so much for joining us. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video out there. Super important, super appreciated. Love to hear what you think. And if you're a founder out there and you want your own pitch deck critiqued and reviewed, stay till the end of the video. I have a process that I have to explain to you before you send in your pitch deck, and I will give you the instructions on how to get that done. The reason I like this deck, and I appreciate all founders that are courageous enough to send in their pitch decks to run through the gauntlet, I'm here to just try and make you a better founder, to help you. That's the reason I put one right between the eyes and give you the unfiltered, direct, blunt, black and white feedback. At the risk of a lot of founders can get offended or feel insecure, you'd rather get this feedback from me and experience it here before you actually shoot your shot and miss with an investor. I like this pitch deck because I can clearly tell they've paid attention to all the other pitch deck advice that I put out there, all the other ultimate guides and the videos that I have on my channel. And I love reviewing pitch decks like this because we can get deeper into the startup itself versus squabble and cover all the basic pitch deck stuff. So appreciate you, founder out there. Let's jump into this pitch deck. Right away, Mailworth Inc. And I like the fact that I've just got a straightforward B2B sales email prioritization tool. I like that. Now, you might want to shift it just a little bit and add AI in there. I'm not a big fan of AI washing, but it's a good thing to do right now because AI is extremely hot. So you might want to say AI B2B sales email prioritization tool. I think that's going to be fine. But the fact that this is straightforward and I've got a very clean slide and I know what I'm getting into, kudos to you. We're starting off on the right foot. Excited about this deck. Problem: over 2 million B2B sales reps in Canada lose over $26 billion annually because they lack tools to identify high-value emails, causing missed revenue opportunities and wasted effort on low-value emails. Here's what I like about it. We can adjust this a little bit to improve, but already we're starting off on the right foot. First, we're going to start off with the user. And I like the fact that we got problem nice and small top here. We're going to start off with the user, and then we're going to get into size, scope, and severity of the problem. And if you can put this in one statement like we've got here, then you got winner, winner, chicken dinner. You're starting off on a right foot. Now, I like the fact that we've got users, sales reps, and we've got size and scope severity. 2 billion is the severity, and the scope, we get lacking tools that have high-value emails causing missed revenue opportunities, and that's the problem. So we've touched on everything. Here's where I have the exception. Why say Canada? And here's a reason for this. I'm going to ask why Canada, because let's explore some of the justifications. If you're saying Canada is a different market with a different user, then I can see you going there. But as far as my thinking is concerned, salespeople, B2B salespeople are the same in North America. We all speak English. We're all kind of selling to the same pool. Culture is pretty much the same. Education, resources, you name it. There are some differences. For example, I'm in Canada. We've got beavers, maple syrup, Canadian bacon looks different than American bacon. Okay, but that doesn't apply to your startup. I'm trying to be funny right now, but it's actually making a point that short of some different language differences, such as saying a, and that's what this is about, and saying sorry all the time, I don't see a reason for you to bifurcate or to isolate Canada and just be super clear. Just say in North America, in America even, if you're going to combine the two, or just North America, because it's a much bigger market. And even if you're starting in Canada, which might be a go-to-market strategy that you're going to say, we're going to start locally in Canada, eventually go to the US, you can start selling in the US anyway, because there are no issues or restrictions from doing that. So tell me how many salespeople there are in North America that are struggling with this problem, and let's get to it because I know this is a big market. Let's jump in and look a little deeper at some other improvements you might need to make. Next, I think this backend statement is more powerful than lack tools to identify high-value emails. This high-value email, I don't really get the same oomph as missing revenue opportunities and wasting effort on low value emails. I would adjust it and prioritize a little bit and say something like over 10 million B2B sales reps in North America lose 26 billion annually because they're spending too much time on low value leads and emails. They're spending too much time on low value leads because they can't differentiate between their emails. I don't know. Say something a little more effective or put a little more teeth on this problem. Lacking tools to identify high value emails. You're talking about the solution is high value emails when the pain point is missed revenue opportunities and wasted effort. This is the real pain here. So I'd adjust a little bit, but as far as I'm concerned, you have all the puzzle pieces. This overall is really good. I think it could be just a little more effective. Maybe run it through ChatGPT and say, rewrite this to prioritize the pain points. I don't know what you could do, but try it because you've already got a good foundation. We can just push this a little further. And that's what I love so far. I'm really liking this pitch deck because we can go deeper and deeper. Our AI sales platform automatically identifies and highlights high-value emails, saving time, enabling sales reps focus on most profitable opportunities. Again, we can switch this around. All the content, all the main pieces are there. The puzzle pieces are there. Just got to turn them and click them together. This is more effective or more powerful in my mind. So you said our AI SaaS platform automatically identifies the most profitable opportunities based on emails, saving time for sales reps. I'm just workshopping it right now and I'm just spitballing, but you see what I'm doing. This is the second part. Make this the priority. I like the fact that you're just very straightforward in terms of this is what our platform does, automatically identifies and highlights. Talk about how much more effective this is because they're more profitable. You may want to add something a little more in terms of follow-up or talking about how the AI agent is super smart. Not just identifying, saying something based upon something. Just a little sprinkle, a little tease of the secret sauce of your AI. Once again, I say this over and over again for all the AI washing that is going on, giving the investors just something a little different than saying our AI does it, I think will serve you well in this highly competitive environment, especially because you're in pre-seed. You want to be explaining that you've got this special sauce and that you understand an insight that other AI companies that are trying to do this, they do not. And I know you've touched on this later on in the deck, but let's try and get it into your problem. Once again, I can't say enough that this is a really good start and we can just push it a little more. Market size. You went problem, solution, market. Thank you so much. 175 million global B2B sales reps using our platform at 587 per year generates 102 billion ARR. You don't have to say that. I love the fact that you've got these strong headlines, but you can say there are 175 million global B2B sales reps. Bang. You can just say that, and that gives me an idea that this is the size of the market. And then you don't have to repeat. You've already said this right in here. So get rid of it up here and just say 102 billion, 175 million sales reps worldwide, and then give me just a little bit of math of how they're paying you and what money, and then talk about 2 million B2B sales reps in Canada. All right, so we need to discuss this a little more. Canada, is going to be a question. Why? If you're going to tell me that you are using Canada as a SAM, you're going to have to explain because I don't see that as a justifiable SAM. I see Canada as a go-to-market strategy now. You've got 175 million B2B sales reps worldwide. Maybe your SAM is English speaking of a specific type of company. But I want you to stop and think about, based upon the solution that you're trying to create, where do you have the most advantage and where does your business model fit the most? And I know at a pre-seed stage, it really is a hypothesis. But the more exact or the more thoughtful you can make that hypothesis for investors, the more they're going to like the way that you think, and the more they can engage and start to say, well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? But show yourself as a thoughtful founder. Just saying Canada, it leaves too much friction for other people to start thinking, well, what's going on? Maybe you're better for higher ticket sales items. Maybe you're better for the opposite, the lower ticket sales. I don't know what that looks like, but give us a justification. A lot of it will probably have to do with where your AI is strong. Maybe you've trained the AI with a specific type of persona in mind. I know a founder who is doing AI sales training specifically for the pharmaceutical industry in terms of her domain expertise. That's where she came from. And therefore, she could talk to that market and say, we're going to focus on this segment of pharmaceutical sales, and then we can expand to the rest. Think about what that looks like for you. And then let's talk about, all right, we can make $117 million, which puts you in unicorn status as far as your SOM is concerned. So adjust this slide just a little bit, but bravo, pretty good. How it works. Our platform uses AI to analyze incoming emails with ERP and CRM data, and then displays key insights as badges on emails. I like really how straightforward this is. The user connects their ERP and CRM to our platform. AI analyzes emails using ERP CRM data, outputting key insights. Insights are added as badges on emails to help sales reps prioritize. And you've got this screenshot right here. You can combine those two. I don't need to see two slides. It would have actually helped me to see this slide in terms of a demonstration right here. Just draw a line, put in the 3 steps, and then have a line right there. And you can just cut off the rest of this and figure out how to explain it. That is a very straightforward how it works slide. If you combine the two together, let's talk about how we can improve it. If you explain just a little better in terms of what the analysis is, incoming emails with ERP and CRM data, tell me what's the insight. How does it work? I understand ERP and CRM is going to help us, but if you explain how intelligent it is and just give us a little more based on previous emails and past deals closed, or how the sales organization has set up and the priorities they've established, and they can fine tune it. You see what I'm getting at here? Just give me a little more teeth in terms of how this solution is unique, because in the AI washing days, you need to set yourself apart and show that you've got insights, you've got that special sauce, and then explain how it continues to learn, explain maybe different types of follow-ups. Or in this day and age, it talks about how to write that email. Because if you can pull data from the CRM and the ERP, then explain to the salesperson, if you're going to save them time, what's a huge time suck there? This is what I'm thinking as an investor, typing out the email. So if you said it analyzes past deals and success and looks at the language and prioritizes them and labels them, and then also gives them how they should respond. Now we're talking about an AI email solution. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't go too far, because when you're talking about something that just very specifically says what you do in terms of focusing on one feature, I really love that approach. In this case, in AI washing and knowing what AI is capable of, I think you're just missing that one little extra step, and you might serve yourself in just explaining how your AI helps with after the email is identified, such as crafting an email. As far as an idea validation deck, this is extremely strong as well. Go-to-market strategy. We're focusing first on the hydraulic industry. All right, here's what it is. This is where Canada doesn't come into play whatsoever. We're focusing on the hydraulic industry using direct outreach via networks and trade events to tap into its email-driven B2B sales model. What you haven't explained to me is why. Why are we going to the hydraulic industry? Do you have domain expertise? Do you have your existing contacts? If you told me we're doing direct outreach via our existing contacts in the hydraulic industry, now we're talking outreach via networks and trade events to tap into this email-driven B2B sales model. Now, this is where I appreciate the fact that you've got one very straightforward sentence, but this is not enough. I need to see the why, on top of which I need to see digital. This is extremely important. And what you're going to try, remember, these are all assumptions. Hopefully, you start to get a better idea and you're already talking about it. If you just said, we're reaching out to our local contacts because we have the contacts in the hydraulic industry and we're doing an email campaign and we got these open rates and click-throughs and these signups, well, that's going to be a lot better as far as the go-to-market strategy is concerned. But you have to give me a strategy. And I understand the strategy, yes, strategically, you're focusing on hydraulic industry, but you're not explaining to me justification strategy. And the digital is going to be important. Let's talk about digital for just a moment. Investors, think about digital. Unless you've got a hack that you've been able to make B2B sales, hand-to-hand combat sales, more efficient and effective, and you figure out another hack, maybe an offline thing, or you've got a channel partner, digital is going to be the name of the game. And there are many digital channels. Why? Because digital scales. Why do you need digital to scale? Why do you need channels to scale? Because people are looking for unicorns. You need to be hyper growth. But also in the AI industry, speed is going to be absolutely important. That's the reason that I know other AI companies that have set up Discord servers or set up Twitter, or they've tested via Twitter. They've actually made that a distribution part of their strategy. Like they've developed an already built-in audience where the customer acquisition cost is zero, because they know there's this thing called AI tourism and Twitter is where it's at, or on Reddit. That's the reason I'm spending lots of time building these channels. I'm now, exciting news, the top 1%. I got this badge, top 1% commenter on the startups subreddit. Why did I do that? It's been a thankless, insufferable job because Reddit, it's a tough neighborhood. Some people call it a cesspool. I'm starting to tend to agree because there are some really, really inappropriate, bitter, just immature people on there. And that's just the nature of Reddit. Like, they get outraged about everything. But why did I build that channel? So that I could show investors I have access to the front of the market, and I'm giving them the justification. Because if I can make it on Reddit, look how many millions of users. I can show them the subreddits. I can say, hey, there are 87,000 people on this subreddit, and these are all my comments, and here's what I'm doing there. Investors want to see that, and that's where I want you to put a little more thought. Keep it simple, like you're doing right now. Put a little more thought in your go-to-market strategy, and I think it's going to serve you much better. This is your business model slide. I dig it. We make money through monthly subscriptions. Straightforward, chef's kiss. Nice job. Let's keep it rolling. Our competitive advantage is estimating an email's potential revenue value without manual effort. That's not your competitive advantage. That's what you do. That's just a promise. Your competitive advantage needs to be all about your special sauce. What do they need to see? And this is where saying things like, based upon past successes, your AI learns something specific to that company, gets insight, versus generic LLM. That could be something that stands out. So these features, email value estimation, ERP integration, CRM, that's great because I love the way that it stands apart. So don't change this. I like this, but talk about ERP and CRM integration. What insights comes from all of that? Value estimation. Well, obviously that's going to come from this right here. I'm like junking up this thing. So you could say our competitive advantage, or our AI estimates the value of every email based on past ERP, CRM data. You see how it's getting a little better in saying that we just not going to have you do manual effort. We're going to save you time because it's not manual. That's not enough. That's a given. You take that for granted, get a little more distinct and detailed with your special sauce, and you're going to crush this slide. Team, in just 2 years together, we've implemented multiple ERP and CRM solutions for B2B businesses, saving companies over $500K annually. Love the headline. I love how you put the headline. Let's improve it. Don't just say in just 2 years together. That really doesn't mean anything. Just say in 2 years, we've implemented multiple, how many? So explain to me. 6, 5, 2, 30 ERP CRM solutions for businesses, saving companies $500K annually. Saving how many companies? Get more exact, because you've got this amazing headline. Let's supercharge it. Let's put it on steroids, okay? Headline plus, change it. Then you've got the founders, 2 years B2B sales industry. Talk about the victory. So how much did you sell in B2B? How good is sales? Do you have any accolades? Do you have any other credentials? Create a prototype, full stack developer. I like it. I'd love some logos if we have some recognizable ones, but a few more bullet points in terms of how much money that you've generated. And then you've got another co-founder, 5 years in the manufacturing industry, right? So that's the reason I'm pretty sure you're going in hydraulics. 30 years development experience, co-founder of NetAccess Systems. That's great. If you got a logo, if it's recognizable, lead programmer of triplecentral.ca. I love it. Get some logos. Strong team, both technical, both experienced. I like it. And you guys look totally like a founder team, that you guys are radicals. You're going to be cowboys or pirates, and you're going to be mucking it up there. I dig it. So we can adjust this slide and make it a little better. Here is the traction slide. It says our prototype is live and ready to onboard users and accept paid subscriptions. Let's break down what needs to go into a traction slide. If you can cover these things in a traction slide, you're going to be winning. You want state of the product, right? And we answered this here because the MVP actually exists. We want to understand users. So user validation, explain how you've already talked to users, and then we want some type of growth. That's what we want. We want to explain, are you growing 10% week over week, 40% month over month? Right now, I've got state of the product, check, because the prototype is live, and ready to onboard users, accept paid subscriptions. This is the issue. How many? I don't understand. Are they even going to pay? How have you validated? You've already said that you're going to go into the hydraulic industry, and you want to put in understanding of how you've talked to users. So give me a line saying that we've outreached to 300 contacts in our list in the hydraulic industry. 10 have booked meetings. And then you're going to be saying that there's a wait list. And then if you've got something that can be demoed or is not ready yet, well, can you create a wait list? Are you really ready to accept paid subscriptions? We don't know yet. So start to break things down in a granular level and show some type of traction that's happening. Give me something like this based upon activity that you're doing. And I recognize that you're in early stages right now, but that doesn't stop you from explaining what you're already doing to get user validation and get some type of growth, even if it isn't paid subscriptions. That's going to increase your traction slide. I love how sparse this is. It's just too sparse. Get me more information, please. We're raising $250K to complete our MVP in the next 6 months. This is where you have contradicted your last statement. You said that you are ready to get subscriptions and that you've already got a prototype available. So I'm having some cognitive dissonance. There's a gap. What is it? If you say the prototype is already done, you can say, get the prototype out there and get users testing it and signing up. So be more clear of the state of the product and change this to we're raising X amount of dollars in Y milestone for Z timeframe. And I appreciate what you've done. You've got the X amount of dollars, which is $250K. Good for you. Fantastic. So here's the X dollars. And then Y milestone. So to complete our MVP in 6 months, you got Z timeframe, right? Great. But you've contradicted your other slides, so let's just be super clear. And I appreciate this use of funds slide. Let's recap. Pitch deck skills, really good. I love how clean it is. Almost too clean. A little too sparse. Let's beef it up and augment it just a little bit. I'm going to give you two options. If this is an idea validation deck and your prototype is just in the initial stages, make it an idea validation deck and be clear about what you intend to put in and how your stuff is going to be separate, different. It's got that secret sauce to it. You haven't explained what type of AI that you're going to use. You haven't explained, are you connecting into an LLM? Are you building your own thing? What's the main engine behind all of this? Because I know you're developers, but who's developing the AI? So if it's an idea validation deck, stay there and say, we need $250K to actually build this and get this out there and start making some money. If you already have a working prototype, then explain that as well. But then I'm going to be expecting you to do more with the working prototype. Remember, you've got two pathways here. One is just a pre-seed idea validation. So you need money to work on your prototype and to explore your assumptions. And you're going to be getting feedback in the market, which you already should be doing. Or you've already got a prototype and now you need to be putting more effort in the go-to-market and showing traction. And that means before you raise, I want you to take your prototype and I want you to go out and get traction. Talk to users, show them, get a waiting list. So you can put into this pitch deck, hey, we've already talked to 10 companies and they've already signed letters of intent, or they've already said, yes, we can do this. We'll have 10 users and they've already agreed to price. You see how much extra that's going to help you? How much more exciting that is? Because if you can build it and you've got a very clean, elegant solution based on, hey, this is going to be tagged, let's go and tackle this, then investors are going to see that traction and they're going to be trusting you more with your funds. So those are your options there for you. Either one is going to be fine, good, because you've got the skills to put a pitch deck together. It's going to be based on what you're capable of and what you want to choose. Overall, great stuff. As far as your pitch deck skills are concerned, I'm giving you like an A minus. As far as your pitch deck skills, you can always make adjustments, get feedback to get it to an A, use my feedback, get it an A, and then get feedback from the potential investors out there to get it to an A+. But as far as foundation is concerned, chef's kiss, nice work. I appreciate you as founders. In terms of the actual startup itself, I'm going to give you lots of leeway because you're a pre-seed and you're just developing things. Think through my advice and your path going forward. Do a gut check, reflect on it, and let me know what you think. I'm more than happy to help you out in the future. If you're a founder out there and you want your own pitch deck critiqued and reviewed, as promised, leave a comment and I will respond and I'll tell you what's going to happen and how to get that done. I need all the pitch decks to follow a straightforward format. This pitch deck, I know, followed my best practices format and some of the ultimate guides. That's the reason I'm excited and I'm more engaged with these founders and I'm willing to help them out. You are going to get an email response from me and it'll explain the steps that you have to go through. But leave a comment first and then jump through the hoops because I want to be giving pitch deck critiques and feedback on pitch decks that are worth analyzing for the rest of our community and going deeper other than just going through the same thing over and over again. Problem slide, solution slide. Let's get deeper into the pitch deck. So spend the time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. And all the subscribers and people who are watching these videos, don't waste their time and go through all the stuff that I've got. Spend the time, put in the effort. Don't be lazy. And then get me a pitch deck so I can go deeper into that pitch deck and give you the advice that you're looking for. And let's work together. Watch some of these other videos that I have on the screen. I appreciate every comment. I appreciate you sharing this out there. Always love hearing from you. Thanks so much for hanging out on this one. I will see you in the next video.